Hello, it's Sally. Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Today I'm going to be doing a little update for prompts 13 to 16. So I think I showed you the stockings last time. That's now finished. I've sewn my little tag down. Sorry, I've been rushing around. I'm a bit breathless. Wait me a moment and settle down. Right, so that one's all done. And then I think I was maybe just showing you this one, the start of this one. So this one's done. I'll just pop it up to the camera a little bit so you can see all the little beads. I put some white beads where the ivy is, and I was going to do the bow down there, kind of like that, but it was sticking out, so I kind of turned it upside down and put the bow at the top now, and I'm quite happy with that. So that's that, and I've put the little number 14 on that one with just the stamps, the ink stamps, and that one's complete. So that's that one, 14, and then 15 was the snowman, which I think I was just starting last time. I've just about finished yes I was, because I remember talking about the eyes. So I've just got to sew on the number 15 on that one. That's just ink stamps again. It's quite faint actually, but it was just the blue stamp pad that I used, and I don't think it's a bit of an old one, so it's probably dried up a little bit. I've actually got to iron this as well, because I put his hat on. I didn't like it like that. I wanted it tilting, so I drew it again. So I've got to just press that to get the marks out of it. Put little swirly bits all around in different, kind of like different whites and beiges, just so that stood out a little bit. So let me just move him up a little bit so you can see. So these here are the press studs that I showed you. Just used both of I've not done his buttons. I just realised his nose, which is a satin stitch. What I did was I just drew it, and then I back stitched all the way round, and then I satin stitched across, just to give it a little bit of a raised feel, just a little bit of texture there, not much, but just on his scarf in satin stitch and some couching, the stripes are couching. This is like a double back stitch here that I've done his arms, looks like twigs. Yeah, and I've got his buttons to do. So because I haven't got much space, I was going to do it in these kind of buttons. And I did find some smaller ones, which are I've got some little ones here. Oops, daisy. Haven't had a tidy up yet. You know how things get messy and everything, so but I still think they're too big. So what I'm going to do instead is just I'm not going to do it now, I don't think. I'm going to get some beads and just put 1, 2, 3 beads on his tummy, and that's done. And then it just says, in the meadow we can build a snowman, and then the snowman I did in my handwriting. So that's that one done. And prompt number 16 is Noel, Father Christmas, Happy Christmas, Yule. So it can be a word prompt if you want to do a word prompt, or it can actually be a picture prompt. I'm going to do a picture prompt. I've had a draw and I tried to do a Santa and it was rubbish. And then I thought, I like the song When Santa Got Stuck Up the Chimney. So I haven't got to do a face on it, which is brilliant. So it looks a bit Humpty Dumpty style, but I used my template again, one of these, just to do his oval body. So that's his body, and then I've just kind of like done some squiggles. So that's going to be white for the fur trim. That's going to be red, red, red. White fur trim again on the end of his trousers. Some black boots or brown boots maybe. And then the chimney, I've just done like that, and then maybe some snow just waving around here, and then just some snow on the chimney pot like that. That's kind of what I'm going with on this. And then I'm going to put some words on again. So when Santa got stuck at the chimney, he began to shout, "You boys and girls won't get any toys if you don't pull me out." So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm just working on the background for it at first. So this is going to carry on from this one. So there will be a little bit of lace, kind of, once that's in there, like that, it will kind of like go over a little bit. Come on, it's not going to play. There we go. So it'll kind of go over like that, but there's still plenty of room for him on there. In fact, I think I've made this piece, as you know, we've been going on, and I've been going on the kind of all different, that's roughly about 10, but then the wreath was, what's that, it's about 8.5 inches. The stockings, I think, is probably 10. once it's been attached, it'll be 10. So I've done Santa. I think have I done this at 11? I've done this at 11 just because I know that there's some going to be lost on this one. And I've just got a piece of napkin here. This is a lovely piece of linen napkin here with a blue border on, and it's just got a little, I don't know whether you can see that or not, it's just got a little stamp on there. I think it says K equals 13, but it's like the laundry label for it. There is one that side as well, but I don't know whether you can see that or not. It's very faint, so I thought I'd just keep with that one. So you can see that, and then that's going up to the edge there. And then I've got this piece of damask here, which has got a nice border on. So all the thread comes off. I've had to unpick it because it was like that, and that was like that. It's the edge of a tablecloth, so it was like that, but it was too, I thought that was a bit too thick to have double layers, so I thought I've opened it up and I've kind of got a lot more fabric for my money there. So that's kind of going there. There is still some thread that I just need to pick off, look. But once that's off, it'll be fine. So that's kind of going like that, just enough to give my, oh, okay, level with that one. And then it's just going to go over there. So it's kind of like that. I did have some pins. Where can I put them? There you go, pins. I hope you're all well. You're all finding time to stitch. I've been enjoying looking at all your Advent calendar pieces. Really beautiful. It's a cold day here. I'm not sure, I've not checked the temperature yet, but it feels very cold. Oh. Got some stray ends. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that over there like that. That and over, let's just pin that down. Oops. I'm enjoying using up all my scraps of white. In fact, this is a new, I've just cut into this one because I'm kind of like getting to the stage where I need to actually get some more old tablecloths, which I have got, and linens ready to cut into. So that's that side, and then I just need to, that's going over. Pin that one first. So this one here I'm not going to tuck over because I wanted this edge, but I'm not going to worry too much about that because the way that I am finishing everything off, it won't matter, but that's another day. And I've been given an idea by Sharon. Hi Sharon. And I think she knows what hopefully you know what I mean, and I will show that at the end when we come to construct our actual scroll of what I'm going to do. I love having little chit chats with you and you're giving me ideas and thinking, yeah, that's brilliant. I'll definitely do that. Like we will share ideas. Love the community that we're building up and we're all part of. That's not quite right. Okay, I'm just going to chop this off because this is just excess that I don't want. Go to waste. I will pop that in my box just down by my feet. Okay. So again, like I've shown you before, I'm just going to go around. Oh, I haven't pinned that down, have I? I don't think it matters. It's quite straight. That will be fine. I'm going to go round and just with my thread, and I don't know where I've put my needle. Oh, it's not frustrating when you're I do look at all this. I do need to actually tie. Usually after every sheet I tidy up. After every prompt I tidy up, because I'm using different colours and stuff. Look at all this on my hoops. Just the hoops there out of the way. Oh, I must have put it. Have I put it away? I think I have. I think it's might be that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just do a little bit quickly. I love having long nails, but I don't like it when I'm trying to thread a needle and pick a needle up. And I've also got I've got a job, and I do a lot of typing. And if I've got long nails, I'm typing the wrong letters sometimes. They get in my way. So get that sorted this week anyway. So what I'm going to do here is just tack it on, or invisible stitch it on, so just a small stitch and then move along like that. And I do zigzag all the way around, like that, all the way over to get it all attached, and then I can take out all my needles, and then I will also do a little bit of stitching down here just to attach it as well, and then that will be ready to transfer my design on. I'm not going to do too much of this. In fact, I'm going to stop right now. There we go, pop that there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing there and down there. Take all my pins out, and then I can start on my design. So this is kind of like my rough design that I've started with. I don't know whether it's too big. No, because I've still got room, even if I'm taking up that much room for the lace. There's a line there. Can you see this line where there's folds? So if I say that's kind of like, I'm not going to use that. That would be kind of my visual aid. No, I think that's not too bad actually. I don't mind that too much. I can maybe make it a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? Get some tracing paper. I'm just going to find my tracing paper. I thought I had one that was partially started. Well, it looks a bit rough like this with all the lines on and everything. As soon as you kind of like trace it and get the design down, it starts to look a little bit better. So it doesn't look quite as rough. A little bit wavy, not too much, but just a little bit. Maybe a bit shorter. No. Okay, so just take that off. Turn it over because it's pretty symmetrical anyway. I'm not going to worry about which way it goes. So if it goes like that, then what I just need to know is, can I fit all my writing on? So that's the next thing I'm going to just think about. So some of it's typed and I want some of it. When Santa got stuck up the chimney, he began to shout. Shall I put, he began to shout, "You boys and girls won't get any toys if you don't pull me out." When Santa got stuck up the chimney, he began to shout, "You boys and girls." I'm just trying to think which ones I shall write and which ones I'm going to type. So I'm going to have Santa written. Sorry, I'm going quiet, I'm thinking. I'm not going to get all of that on as writing, so that was what I was thinking, but... Okay, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my typewriter. Ooh, here we go. I was asked about this the other day, and it's just this is just a 1970s portable typewriter. It's really the basic of the basics. It was my mum's in the 1970s, the early 1970s. I remember her getting it. Oh, sorry, mid 70s. Sorry, it was mid 70s. And I pestered her for it until she gave it me. So I'm just looking for fabric to type onto. Won't be a second. Just having a feel of some of them just to see which ones I like the feel of. I know I should have done all this in prep beforehand. That's it. That's quite a nice piece of cotton. So I'm going to use some of this because it's too big for my typewriter. I'm going to just snippety snip right there. Take out all of the stringy bits. You don't want them clogging your typewriter up. Okay, and then pop it in. I usually pop mine in at an angle just so it catches. Oh, there we go, and then I can straighten it up from there. And what I do is try and have it, you know where your natural line of your fabric is. I have it lined up with that, you know, so it's straight. Righty-ho. Okay, so about there. You can set margins on it. Like I say, it's really basic. There. Right, so let me have a think about this. I'm just thinking, shall I do double spacing or single spacing? Let's just try double. So what I'm not going to use any capitals. Okay, because I want my letters to be spaced out a little bit, what I'm doing is type a letter space, and then in between words, it's 3 spaces. But I'm going to have when. Can you see that? When. I'm just going to see, you can see that, yes, sorry, I can't always see what the camera's picking up. So I've got that, and leave a few spaces because you want a little bit of room around your word to sew on, and I like to tuck my fabric in on this project. So I've got when, then I'm going to write Santa, so I'm not going to put Santa in, and then I want got stuck up the chimney. So do I want got stuck and then a new line up the chimney, or got, how do I want my words basically spaced out? When Santa got stuck, and then I think I'm going to have up the chimney. hoping I can fit that on. I can always come back and do some more. It's no biggie. Okay, so I've got that. And then I want he began to shout. That's all going to be on one line, I think. Oh, I forgot double spacing. I'm just going to leave that a little bit. He began to shout. Have I got enough room for shout? No, I'm going to do that line again. That's a scrap line. I'm going to start again. Okay, that's better. He began to shout. No, I'm thinking boys and girls I want to do in... Right, so you, boys and girls, 6. Toys. Won't get any toys. Don't pull me out, you. If you don't, I'm not going to get pull me out on there, so I'm going to do pull me out on a new word, on a new line, sorry. Right. There we go. Let's see how that looks. I can always come back, like I say, if I need to do more. It's a little portable typewriter. It's actually got a little handle that you can carry it around. So that goes over there. So there we go. There's our words. And like I said, that one there is the... I'm going to cut really close to that one to get that one out of the way because I don't need that. Bit wonky, so that one can be chucked away. Let's see how that looks on here and if it all fits. I mean, I suppose what I could do, no, I'm going to do it either side. So let's cut these up. So cut in the middle of these so that I've got, I think they're a bit too close actually. I need to probably do that one again. Let's see. Right, so I'm just going to cut him out. And then I can see where he fits. And I've got enough room here for Santa. So what I'm going to do is pack that much space. Okay. Sorry, my phone just flashed at me. Yep, that's going to fit on there. Brilliant. I'm not sure about this side though. I'm not as confident with this one. There's a bit too many words here, I think, to be able to fit. Let's see how we go. I might have to split them up. He began to, is fine, shout, comma, you. Then I'm thinking boys and girls. Oh, that won't even fit, get any toys. Right, if you don't pull me out. I think I'm going to have to just do, right, what about if, I wonder if I can, when Santa got stuck up the chimney, he began to shout. Yeah, you boys and girls. Okay, right, okay, see how important it is to kind of like just figure out where your layout is sometimes, because I wouldn't have been able to fit everything on, but I think once I've got those on, don't forget they're going to be smaller than this because they're going to be tucked under. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be doing that to them. So these lines are going to be a little bit smaller than that. That's why at the moment they're lapping over. But when Santa, so you, boys and girls, right, so how much space have I got for boys and girls? About there. Boys again. Something like that. I think I might just be able to fit that on. I don't think I'll be able to fit the word and on. That's all I'm thinking, so that's why I'm doing my little squiggle. Okay, it's going to fit on there. I will be able to squidge a little bit more, I think, if I can go up a little bit further. So that is perfect. I'm happy with that. I know what I'm doing. So let me just position Santa. He's going somewhere. I don't want his feet to move onto this, so I'm going to go there and there. Right, so take all these off. That's where he's going, so I can get that traced on now. Make sure he's a bit more level, something like that. Is that the right way? Yeah. Some of this is easier than where you're crossing the lines, it's a bit hard, but I should be able to just see where I'm going, and then I can friction pen over after. Oh, that's not too bad. I will just go over it, just the pencil does, I find the pencil does wear off eventually. If you are tracing, it does wear off eventually as you're stitching away, so I don't want it to disappear. Ouch. Got stabbed. There, something like that. And then I'll do the words afterwards. So I'm going to start on this. I'm not going to do too much because I want to get all my background stitched down, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to just look for a red. Is that bright enough? I don't want to go mega bright, but I'm just having a look at what reds I've got. And you take a bit of artistic license. You don't have to be a block of red. You could be, give them red tartan. What else have I got? Let's see. I've got some reds here. I've got a lovely red. That's quite nice, isn't it, with snowflakes on? Quite like that though. Stripy. What have I got there? It's quite nice. I can't get it away from the others. It's all too dark, too dark. Oh, I want that for the chimney. I was wondering if I'd got any more of that. That's for the chimney. So I like that as well. Let me just put those out and let's just have a little bit of a... I quite like that actually for the trousers. That's going to be the brickwork. That was the other one that I picked out. But I, for some reason, like a bit of check. Face trousers, yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's go for it. So, where did I put that trace in? Yeah, the trace in. I'm going to try and trace again. I don't want to waste my fabric. Here is, I'll come down so I'm not going to see that, but oh, that's not good. Oh dear, that's terrible. That's as far as I can see. Something like that. It's something like that, I think. Okay, let's give it a go. Why not? I'm just going to cut a bit larger than I think I need. It's because basically I can't really see my tracing. So if I cut bigger, then I can trim. sure that's too big, but that's just a quick, yeah. Oh, it's not, to be honest, it's not too bad, is it? Have I done it the wrong way? Yeah, I've probably done it the wrong way. Have I? It fits perfectly that way as well. I think I've done it the wrong way. Yeah, it's supposed to go that way. You can see the pencil marks, but once I've gone over with stitching and everything, like I say, they will go. So yeah, that goes there. So what I'm going to do is just cut. Let's cut along that line. See how we go. That's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have something white going over here, white over here, and white here, which will all go over the edges. Is that the right way or not? I don't know whether it is. It might be that way actually. So once I've pinned that on, I can just, yeah, I might just go around and just trim. It's not too bad actually. I think once I've got my white bits on, it'll be fine. So what I'm going to do for white bits, I don't know. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it, with the stars on and then there as well. That's like, you know, for the furry type bit. Something like that. But then I've also got the snow here. What am I going to do for that? Got that one. There's two there. I don't know. I'm not a silvery person myself, but anyway, that's for a later think about. So I've done that, and I'm going to pop some of this on as well for the, it's about the right size, isn't it? For the chimney. Chimney. So if I cut it there, then I know that's the right size for that. I'll cut that down as well a bit, but that's my definites for those bits. And then I will do some stitching in between as well. I can go back in there. Right, I think I'm going to leave it at that. So this is like my catch up, and then next time will be the next prompts, won't it? So, oh blimey, it's moving along now. Blimey. Okay then, so that's it for now. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.